Catch 'em all.
The PlayStation 5, PS5, is an upcoming home video game console developed by Sony Interactive Entertainment. Announced as the successor to the PlayStation 4 in 2019, its launch is scheduled for late 2020. In a Wired article in April 2019, Sony lead architect Mark Cerny revealed information on the then-unnamed successor to the PlayStation 4. This new console has a specialized solid-state drive, a custom-AMD GPU capable of ray tracing, backward compatibility with most PlayStation 4 and PlayStation VR games, and support for both digital and disc-based games. 1. The first news of the PlayStation 5, PS5, came from the lead architect, Mark Cerny, in an interview with Wired in April 2019. 1. In early 2019, Sony's financial report for the quarter ending March 31, 2019, affirmed that new next-generation hardware was in development but would ship no earlier than April 2020. 2. Sony intends to ship this next-generation console worldwide by the end of 2020. 3. The current hardware specifications were released in October 2019. 4. 5. At CES 2020, Sony unveiled the official logo for the platform, which follows the similar minimalist styling of the previous PlayStation consoles and brand. 6. Full specifications were given in an online presentation by Cerny and published by Digital Foundry and Sony on March 18, 2020. 7. 8. Hardware. The PlayStation 5 uses AMD Zen 2 microarchitecture with 8 CPU cores running at a variable frequency capped at 3.5 GHz. 7. The GPU is a customized system-on-a-chip (SoC) based on AMD's Retina 2, featuring 36 compute units running at a variable frequency, capped at 2.23 GHz, and capable of 10.28 flops. 7. Both the CPU and GPU are monitored by a special boost system incorporating AMD's Smart Shift technology that adjusts the frequency of these systems based on the current activities of both chips, to target ideal constant power drawn in a model SoC performance profile. For example, if the CPU is running at lower activity, the boost system may reduce its frequency and increase the frequency of the GPU to allow that GPU to run at higher performance without otherwise affecting power use or cooling. 7. Because of this, Cerny said that any direct comparison to other hardware systems based on compute units or flops may not be accurate. 7. The GPU supports hardware acceleration of real-time ray-traced rendering. 4. It has a new audio technology called Tempest Engine, which allows not only for hundreds of sound sources within a game to be accounted for in producing audio output compared to 50 for the PlayStation 4, but also how that audio is presented based on the end user's device and preferences. 7. The system has 16 GB of GDDR6 RAM with a bandwidth of 438 GBs. 7. A custom SSD storage solution was designed for the PlayStation 5 to increase data input-output rates for fast loading times and larger bandwidth. This speed allows games to be more immersive and to support 8K resolution. 1. The base system has a 825 GB SSD connected via a 12-channel interface to the main system, achieving a 5.5 GBs transfer rate uncompressed, and between 8 to 9 GBs using compression with the util Kraken protocol from Rad Game Tools. This atypical drive size was found to be optimal for the 12-channel pathway for the system rather than more typical 500 GB or 1 TB units. Direct storage for games is expandable through a NVMe Express (NVMe M.2) port, while additional storage can be made available through USB-compatible drives. The system includes a 4K-compatible Ultra HD Blu-ray optical drive. 7. Though game installation from a disk is mandatory as to take advantage of the SSD, The user has some fine-grained control of how much to install, such as only installing the multiplayer components of a game. 3. Sony is developing improved support for suspended gameplay state, for the PlayStation 5 to consume less energy than the PlayStation 4. 9. DualSense controller main article, DualSense. The new DualSense wireless controller for the PlayStation 5 was revealed on April 7, 2020. 10. The DualSense controller is based on the DualShock controllers, but with modifications influenced by discussions with game designers and players. 10. The DualSense controller has adaptive triggers that can change the resistance to the player as necessary, supporting an experience such as virtually drawing an arrow from a bow. 3. The DualSense has strong haptic feedback through voice coil actuators, which together with an improved controller speaker is intended to give better in-game feedback. 3. While the DualSense maintains most of the same buttons as the DualShock 4, it renames the Share button to Create, with additional means for players to share and create content with others. A new built-in microphone array was added so players can speak to others using only the controller. 10. It has two-tone coloring, primarily white with black facing. The light bar has been moved to the sides of the touchpad. 10. It has USB-C connectivity, a higher-rated battery and an audio jack. 3. 11. System software and features. The system software has a completely revamped user interface that is characterized as accessible and informative, providing real-time updates so the player doesn't have to search or wait to discover friends' activities, available multiplayer activities, and what single-player missions and rewards are available. Sony stated, "We don't want the player to have to boot the game, see what's up, boot the game, see what's up." So all of these options will be visible in the UI. 1. Games to transition from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5 during its launch window. Sony anticipates releasing several new games with both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 versions, similar to past console transitions. 1. At the Game Awards 2019, Godfall from Counterplay Games became the first PlayStation 5 game announced, which is intended for a launch window release. 12. Further confirmed PlayStation 5 games include The Lord of the Rings, Gollum, Watch Dogs,